Welcome to Human OS Mind Your Health Rewired, the show that unpacks the hidden systems driving your symptoms and empowers you to heal from the inside out. I'm your host, Dr. Connie Chung, and after decades of inside the healthcare system and outside of it as a patient, I've learned this, that health isn't something you chase, it's something you remember. And if you're ready to rewire your body, reclaim your power, and rise above the outdated health norms, you're in the right place. Let's get right to it.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on Mind Your Health podcast, Rewired. So today I want to talk to you about the return, why I had to come back to the work that saved me. This story is about my personal story, the collapse, the clarity, and the calling that wouldn't let go. So there's a moment in life when everything breaks. Your body, your business, your sense of self, and the whole world feels like it's closing in on you. And in that silence, you either fall apart, be a victim of the circumstance, or you rise into the truth that was always waiting underneath. To find the latter took everything in me. I don't even know how I got here, but all I know is my methodology is what I can attribute to where I am mentally, emotionally, and physically, despite all the circumstances, really telling me that I shouldn't be where I'm at. And this episode is not about success. It's about surrender. It's about the work that saved me and why I'm finally returning to it on my own terms. I want to take you back to the moment everything stopped. It wasn't dramatic, it was quiet. Like a slow leak in my soul, I could no longer patch up with productivity or the purpose I used to live my life for. And after years of building a thriving studio, after helping hundreds of patients, clients, teachers that I mentored, after earning every credential I could, checking every box, working really hard, my body betrayed me. Or at least that's how it felt. You guys know 4 years ago, at the brink of COVID and business, all the uncertainty, my kidney failed. I was hooked to dialysis. I had to shut the doors on my practice, doors once I believed would never close. I felt like I was losing everything I worked for. But more than that, I was losing who I thought I was. As the leader, the practitioner, the mom, the woman could do it, who could do it all. And I grieved hard. Not just the physical health I lost, but the identity I had built my life around. And there's one more piece of the story I need to tell. It's not easy, but I know someone listening may need to hear it. When I stepped away from my studio out of necessity to focus on my health, I did so with deep trust. I handed over my business, my students, my space to someone I believed had my back. Someone I had worked closely with, not just for a few years, but many years, supported and empowered for many years. So I thought. What I didn't know was that while I was fighting for my life, a different narrative was being built in my absence. There were subtle shifts, quiet conversations, slow turning tides. And when I returned, when I felt a little normal enough to return, things didn't feel the same. In fact, there was resistance all around me. The business I created no longer told me that it no longer needed me. And the person I put in charge pretty much told me that there was an ultimatum. If I came back, there was no place for her. I was shocked. I wasn't greeted with warmth or celebration. After all, it was my business I was funding. And I was met with distance, suspicion, walls I didn't understand. It felt like I had walked into a space I built, but no longer belonged to me. Some of the teachers I had mentioned had already left. Some went to competing studios, some began building something of their own, an idea I later realized had likely been in motion for some time. And I don't say this to villainize anyone. I say this because it happened. And The hard truth I had to face was hardest of all. And the truth is, I had a role in it too. I trusted blindly. I assumed that shared values meant shared intentions. I believed the good in people without always checking in with my intuition. I didn't ask hard questions. I wanted to believe what I wanted to believe. And I didn't create strong boundaries. And I didn't want to believe that someone I cared for might not steward my legacy with the same heart. That was not an option for me in my mind. And that's the hard truth. But it's also a holy one for me because the wound that came from betrayal taught me how to protect what I've built and why I do what I do today. How to listen better, how to lead from a place of strength, not assumption. I later found out that the stories that have been told, that some teachers and even students saw me as difficult, mean, or even cold at times. That part really cut deep because I know who I am. I lead with conviction. I'm very passionate. I like to speak the truth and I don't always sugarcoat. But I know that that's what it takes for me. And I lead with love deep within. And those who's truly worked with me know that. Still, when people are told a version of you that fits a certain narrative, it's easy to believe the story than to ask for the truth. So they did just that. And I don't fault them for that. But I just know that that was really their flaw and their misunderstanding. And sometimes people will never ask. They'll never get curious. They'll just decide who you are based on that narrative, and that's it. You have no chance. And that has been one of the hardest things I've had to accept. So what lessons did I took from this? Because with every obstacle, I look for the lessons. I've come to know these. Not everyone who walks with you is meant to stay with you, and that's okay. Not everyone who smiles in the light won't cast shadows in the dark. And not every version of you that lives in someone's mind is yours to correct. I really want somebody that needs to hear this to really hear this. I've had to let go of needing to be liked, let go of needing to prove myself, let go of keeping the peace at the cost of my own peace. Instead, I focused on rebuilding from truth, leading from discernment, serving those who resonate, not trying to convince those who don't. I don't need to be the hero in every story, and not everybody has to like me. But I am committing to being the guide in the stories that are aligned with the truth. So to those who have felt misunderstood just like I have, if you've ever been misjudged, if you've been the subject of someone else's projection, or if you've been painted as a villain in someone else's survival story, let me tell you something. The truth is your compass. Your integrity is your peace. And your return after everything is your power. I'm not here to defend myself. I don't need to. I'm here to serve because that's the truth. And from the depths of who I really am. I have lots to share, and that's what I plan to do. And if you're still listening, if you're still with me after all of it, I just want to say thank you. This is not about going back. It's about rising forward with more discernment, more heart, more soul-aligned leadership than ever before. So if you've ever felt disconnected from me or the studio, if you left with questions or stories that felt unresolved, my door is wide open. You're welcome to reach out, ask questions, not to hash the past, but to reconnect if it feels aligned. Because my mission hasn't changed. It's to create space for healing. But a lot of the times when I keep my silence in my pain, a lot of that may be misunderstood as aloof, as me being cold. And I've never been more committed to doing that from the truth. You know what no one else tells you about breaking down? It's just not painful. It's disorienting. All the tools I taught others, movement, breath, nutrition, mindset, suddenly felt so distant in this space. Like I was watching myself from behind a glass wall. I remember lying there during dialysis when I was being poked and prodded in the hospital, my body hooked up to a machine and wondering, what's the point? Not in a dramatic way, but in the cellular way. When everything feels stripped to the bone, you start asking different questions. What really is real? What actually works? What's worth coming back for? And then something shifted. Not suddenly, not overnight, not at all. But over time, I began to listen differently to my body, to my breath, to my movement, to my emotions, to my triggers, and to the whispers of something I hadn't made space for in years, for as long as I've been alive. My truth, not the branded, polished version. I'm not interested in bringing the best version, only the best, prettiest versions of me. I like the raw, broken, the holy version of the struggle that's real for everyone. I realized all the work I had done, physical therapy, functional medicine, yoga, neuroscience, coaching, all the things, it wasn't about performance. It was about integration. And I needed it too, for me. So I stopped chasing protocols. I started creating from a framework that I created, one that could hold me, all of me. And I got to work. And you guys, that is now the human OS that was born, not in a strategy meeting, not in surrender, but in surrender. A map that bridges the gut to the brain, the nervous system to the soul, and the body to believe. It's what saved me, and now it's what I teach. So I'm coming back. Today I'm back in my studio teaching, but also I've opened the doors to my studio space to do clinical work for physical therapy, those people who have unrelenting pain that nobody has answers to. I get right to the point. No wasted time. We get right to it. Comprehensive movement analysis, corrective movement patterns. We have to really decode your situation and your patterns to rewire new ones and then to rise above it all. Because I can, I must. I've rebuilt the practice that reflects who I've become. Right now, I'm on dialysis every day waiting for a kidney transplant. I've waited 4 years. It'll get better, and I've held my practice in sort of a limbo. I just wanted it to last until I can come back fully. Well, I'm coming back anyway, and I'm going to do it with so much conviction because I realize how many people need this work. And I've rebuilt a practice that reflects who I've really become. It's all about functional yoga medicine with its foundational pillars. Human OS, we have the scan, reset, decode, and rewire, various programs along the way. It's all about real integration, real tools, real results, one-on-one, through the video camera or in person at my studio. For the people who are done with quick fixes and gimmicks and are ready to truly rise. I'm seeing patients again, teaching again, guiding other practitioners to learn the system, becoming a mentor. I want to be the teacher and a guide to the teachers so they can really give the people what they need so that they can hold space at a new level too. Because the truth is, healing is not linear, but it's possible. When you have a map and someone who walks beside you, there's no buts but to win and get healed. If you're listening to this and you feel broken, scattered, uncertain, confused about where to go next, let me tell you, there's a way through. All you need is a commitment to yourself. Do not bypass the pain. But by integrating it, that's how you land on the truth and start healing. And that's what I do now. And I'm here, online and in person, if you're ready to begin your own return. Because this isn't just about getting better, it's about getting whole. So you want to become a guide for others, apply for the FYMCP certification program. There's a wait list before, it's once a year. We hold a 3-part training that is for free. So I'll link it below. And this is where science meets soul and you become the practitioner you were always meant to be. Over $500,000 in my education alone. I've kind of wrapped it up in one program I wish I had. without going through all that I had to go through the hard way. I've done the hard work for you. The second part is, if you need your own healing as a patient, book a home human OS session or decode, rewire consults. We have online programs as well as individual sessions with me. Let's rebuild your health, identity, and confidence, because they're all integrated from the inside out to be whole and to heal. And that's what I know that everybody needs. Not just in segments, pieces of the whole, but the whole integration of it all. You don't need another protocol. You don't need another pathway. You just need one that honors who you are and who you're becoming. Make room for that. This is functional yoga medicine. This is human operating system at its best. And this is just the beginning. And I'm Dr. Connie Chung. Links are below. Follow and subscribe to my podcast. I love to hear from you. Leave us a review. I read every single one of them. And I have a YouTube channel, Dr. Connie Chung with an E, as well as on Instagram. I'm there regularly sharing my insights at Dr. Connie Chung. Thanks, my friends, for being here. And I just want to say, if I can do it, you can do. So walk with me. I'll see you all next week. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Human OS Mind Your Health Rewired. If something you heard today sparked a shift, share it with someone you love, or tag me at Dr. Connie Chung so we can spread this mission together. To explore programs, trainings, or resources to support your healing, visit hossystems.com. And remember, you're not broken. You're brilliantly wired for healing. You just need the right operating system. Until